Once you start your guiding business, I will 10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay, thank you very much.
The Rio Grande Valley in South Texas is one of the premier birding destinations in the continental United States. We're in this birder's paradise on a trip to see as many of the valley's specialty species as possible. On our first 2 days in South Texas, we found a total of 48 species, including several that were life birds. On our third day, we plan to go to some of the best spots in the region to search for some rarities.
We are heading to Bentsen, which is one of the coolest places, in my opinion, to visit here in the valley. There's been some rarities reported there, so we're hoping to find at least one of them. And then there's a nearby butterfly center that has some good stuff too. And we'll see how we do there today. It looks like it's kind of another overcast day, but it's supposed to get sunny later today. So really excited. We should be able to see some other birds that are new for Ryan. That are always fun to see too, because they have some bird feeders and there's common species we haven't seen yet. So we'll try with the common stuff and hopefully get some of those rarities too.
We drove from South Padre Island through the rain and eventually arrived at our first destination. After parking, we walked past part of the southern border wall and into the visitor center to pay the entry fee.
Okay, so if you look, there's Border Patrol. But if you look right there, that's part of the border wall.
Oh, wow. So Mexico's right over there.
Yeah.
At the visitor center, we picked up 2 life birds through the window, the hooded oriole and the Inca dove. We made our way into the park and found ourselves at some bird feeders, where we spotted our first rare species. Got the Bacard, but it was incredibly brief. I didn't even get any videos or pictures of it, but Derek got some. But I'm hoping it comes back because we talked to somebody yesterday who said they got it and they said it came for like 10 seconds and then left and they never saw it again. So I hope that's not the case that happens today. I'd really like to get a better look at this bird, but I think they're about to put the food out soon, so hopefully that'll bring a bunch of different species in. This feeding area proved to be an amazing place for South Texas specialty species. Among these birds were green jays, Altamira orioles, and way more. One of the most obvious birds present was another lifer, the plain chachalaca.
Look at them run.
I know.
My favorite thing about them is they just like hang out with you.
Yeah, they're just fascinating, silly birds. I do enjoy them. They're very loud though. Eventually, the rose-throated Bacard came back and gave us some slightly longer views, much to our delight.
How you feeling?
Finally got a better look at the Bacard, so it makes me happy. Now it's time to find some kites. After seeing the Bacard, we moved on to our next target species, the hook-billed kite. Fortunately for us, we met a local celebrity birder, Ryan Rodriguez, who knew the area extremely well and offered to help us find the kites. We walked around the roads, hoping to catch a glimpse of the kites. Along the way, we found a few other raptors en route to a hawk watch tower. This tower provided an excellent vantage point and allowed us to see another bird of prey that was not a kite, but still a lifer. Just had a new species, greyhawk. We at first thought that it was a kite just by the way it was flying, but then when we saw it perched, it was a greyhawk, which is a new bird for me, but it means we're still searching for some kites. After spending a considerable amount of time birding from the hawk watch tower, we descended the structure and continued walking the road. Eventually, we did get an extremely quick look at a hook-billed kite, only for a matter of seconds. There it is.
Just flew.
Where'd it go?
Left. Dang. It was cool though. It's a real hook-billed kite this time.
After finding both of our target species, we made our way back to the entrance of the park. Along the way, Ryan found us a beautiful green kingfisher, which was the first time I had ever seen one. We also got some really nice looks at clay-colored thrushes, the last of 8 lifers I was able to see at Bentsen. This place is so cool. I would definitely rate it a 10 out of 10 for any birder in the area to go visit. This has been so neat to see all these different species and get some good looks at them too.
All right, we're headed out from Bentsen. I'm gonna see if we can snag a few things on the way out, but it was an incredible stop here. The Bacard and the kites, the two main things we were looking for as far as rarities we got some of the other more common stuff, so really pleased with how it turned out. Hopefully we'll keep our luck rolling for some more species.
Next, we headed to another notable destination just a short drive away. So Bentsen was an absolutely awesome stop. We're gonna go basically 5 minutes down the road now to the National Butterfly Center, where there's some other cool birds visiting, which it's not technically part of Bentsen, but it's so close that you might as well do the two together if you're gonna be in the area. So here we're hoping to see some cool oriole species and more of the same stuff that we've seen already, but maybe get some more views too. So hopefully this is a cool destination. This butterfly center had a number of South Texas specialty species reported that we wanted to see, but the one at the top of the list was the beautiful Audubon's oriole. We just went to the visitor center and there is a $10 fee to get in, but the people at the front desk were super helpful and they told us some spots to see potentially eastern screech owl and told us where the orioles usually are. So we're on one of the trails right now called the Hackberry Trail. We're listening to see if there's any interesting bird calls, and then we're gonna make our way over to the oriole station, or the place where the orioles feed. They're about to put oranges out in about 30 minutes. We made it to the feeding station just in time to see the fruit being put out. Shortly after, the birds came in quickly, including the Audubon's oriole, as well as an interesting hybrid oriole that had been hanging out there too.
Awesome looks here at the feeding station. Everything came in really quick and left, but we had great looks at the Audubon's oriole, the hybrid, kiskidees, green jays, other orioles, so it's been super cool. Definitely a great stop.
Eventually joined again by Ryan, we walked the trails at the Butterfly Center, hoping to find a tiny flycatcher species called a northern beardless tyrannulet. Fortunately for us, the South Texas native once again came up clutch and heard the call of this small bird, allowing us to triangulate its position.
Dude, the tyrannulet, that's like incredible. It's so much smaller than I thought it would be. And it feels like kind of like a needle in a haystack type deal, so that's an awesome bird to get.
Once you start your guiding business, I will 10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay, thank you very much.
Getting some quick but decent looks at another life bird, we left the Butterfly Center feeling good about the day so far.
Yeah, dude, that thing was adorable.
It was the tiniest little flycatcher I've ever seen.
I feel like a lot of the stuff you see it for like 30 seconds, you're like, that was amazing.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the views of things in South Texas, it's kind of like they're there for a second and then they're out, but
for
they're
the really
spectacular.
Rare stuff, not for the common stuff.
Yeah, like for here we got the orioles, especially the Audubon's oriole was really cool, and it just sat there for a while eating, and you're kind of like, well, I have this really cool bird. How many videos do I need of it or take of it? But the tyrannulet was super fast, but it was also super cool. I'm really glad that Ryan was there to help us find it, because otherwise I don't think we would have.
He knew the call so well.
We had one more stop to make to conclude our day, and it happened to be one of the best state parks in Texas for birding, Esterro Llano Grande. Just got Audubon's oriole and the tyrannulet, so today has been a great day. We've gotten pretty much all of our target birds so far, so we're doing great. We're going to stop at one more really notable place to see if we can find some more species, and then after that we're going to call it a day, but it's been good so far. Joining us was our friend and extremely knowledgeable birder, Justin LeClaire, who offered to show us around the park. As soon as we got there, we noticed a pond loaded with birds, showing that this place would have a totally different set of species.
What do you think?
This place is crazy. This is like some of the first water I've seen that's like an actual standing pond. And there's avocets and there's stilts in there and there's a lot of ducks. So we gotta figure out what's all in here, but it looks really cool. After spotting a lot of new birds for the day, we started walking the trails. I can totally see why this is such a birding hotspot. It's one of the few places I've been to so far in Texas that has a significant amount of water. So there's a lot of ducks and a lot of herons and things like that. So it definitely makes sense. It's been cool so far. I'm hoping we can turn up some paraques maybe. Passing by more ponds and seeing even more wetland species, we arrived at the known spot to see a fascinating nightjar, the common paraque.
You definitely have to just walk up and try to find them on your own.
Okay.
There were 3 last time I was here, so you've got a lot of options here.
So just like that general area?
Yeah, just behind the brush and move slow, and Look for a stick that's not a stick.
Alright, let's play the Parake game.
How deep in are they normally?
They can be right in front of you, so.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I found one. He literally is right in front of me. Look at him. That's so cool.
He's big. He's a chunk.
So neat. So are they known for that, just being that still?
Oh yeah, they'll sit like that all day unless something spooks them up. And then at night they'll come out and they'll be more likely to sit out in the middle and they'll go out and grab bugs. They'll land back in the middle and do their classic calls.
Why are they so okay with just being out?
Here, I guess they're just used to people walking by every day. The park has these sticks lined up so that nobody walks in there, and yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise, but
That camouflage is incredible. Like, the colors of the feathers just blended with the different sticks so well. So that's an awesome bird to get, especially during the day.
Right off the trail. After successfully winning the Find the Parake game, and spending a lot of time geeking out about these unique birds, we moved on to a more open area, where we found another bird that was a lifer for me. Just got a white-tailed kite over here. Justin pointed it out. It's at the top of this bush. It's a life bird for me, so that's exciting. So we've got Parake, and then we have this one at Esterro, which is so cool. And then there's a bunch of waterfowl down there with a few more shorebirds, like more avocets and more stilts too. So a really neat place. We checked out a few more parts of Esterro without finding any new birds, and decided to call it a day. We ended up with 89 species for the trip, and I got 12 new lifers, bringing the trip total to 23. It was an absolutely great day getting to see so many cool South Texas species, and what made it even better was getting to spend it with some great birders in the region. Be sure to be on the lookout for the next video from South Texas, and until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.